Chapter 10. Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad. I hadn't heard from Lamar since that night in November. Thanksgiving and Christmas went by in a blur. I spent time in Florida with my mother and her sister, the only blood family I had left. Kim, Mason, and I promised we'd get together once the holidays were over, but I wasn't pressing them because I knew I wouldn't be much company to anyone. After returning from Florida, I was sadder than ever. I wasn't looking forward to the new year, because I understood there was a good chance that I'd still be without him. A few weeks later, it had taken everything I had in me not to show up at his place unannounced. So I did the next best thing, or so I thought, as I devised a plan to figure out what he was up to. I sat behind the wheel of the car I had rented for my stakeout, and resisted the temptation to go knock on the door. When I watched him run into his building with a woman, my heart was shattered. I cried like a big baby, and finally started the engine so I could sulk my way home. It had been my fault, and I knew it. He had told me he wasn't looking for commitment. He wasn't shy about the fact that he enjoyed the bachelor's life. But I thought I could change him. Those 3 words had changed my life for the worst, and now I was sad and alone. Before hopping on the 405 in a fit of rage, I foolishly decided to fight fire with fire. I'd go to the Normandy Casino and pick up a man. If he was cool, I might even give him some, I decided. "My name is Devin," this dark-skinned man said the moment I slid into an empty seat at a table near the back of the club. "What's got you out all alone tonight?" he asked. "Actually, I'm meeting a friend here," I lied, looking toward the entrance every few seconds to back up my lie. "Oh, okay. You mind if I sit and talk to you until your friend arrives?" he asked. He was nice enough. About 6 feet tall, nice body, bald head, cute smile. But he just wasn't Lamar. After about an hour of Devin's conversation, I had already decided to abandon my plans for payback. He was running on about something and I was half listening. "So most women are stoked when I tell them what I do for a living. And the fact that I don't have any kids, I guess I'm like the best thing since sliced bread," he boasted. I drained my glass and looked at him. "You know what? I'll be right back." "Oh, okay, cool. I know you're not going to call your girl or anything like that. I feel like we're really connecting here," he said, looking up at me as I stood. He turned his head. "Oh, the bathroom's right over there." He pointed behind our table. "Oh, okay, great," I said, and took off in the complete opposite direction. I didn't even turn back to see the expression on his face when he realized I was walking out of the club. I thought about calling Lamar, but decided that wouldn't be a good idea either. It had only been 4 months since we were kicking it, but I knew from the first night that I wanted more. I wondered now if maybe I should have been up front with him, the way he was with me. Pulling out of the parking lot, I was really at odds with myself. I was mad for being sprung off a player who wasn't ready to trade in his player card. For the first time in a long while, I went back to thoughts of Edward and wondered why I had trouble sealing the deal. I wasn't like Mason, obsessed with the idea of marriage. But hell, I had spent 5 years with Edward. I thought we were working toward a future together. I didn't understand how that meant nothing. When my cell phone rang, I was startled. I was even more confused when I noticed Lamar's number across the screen. It had been a while since our last rump. Because of my earlier drive-by, I knew he wasn't alone, so I didn't know why he was calling me. When I said hello, thoughts of a threesome played across my mind. Now, I may have been stupid in love, but I was nobody's fool, and there were some things I just wouldn't do, one night stand aside. "I can't stop thinking about you," he said, taking my breath away. "It doesn't matter who I'm with. I can't stop thinking about you, Manche." "Will you stop that?" he said. "Excuse me?" I said. "I'm not talking to you, sorry," he said. "Well, what are you going to do about this problem of yours?" "I don't know. Everything I've tried so far hasn't worked." It was nearly 1 in the morning. He was lying up with someone else and professing his affection for me.